In the last video, I discussed Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Praise be to Allah, sustainer and evolver of the universes. In this video, I will discuss Malik Yawmiddin. Malik means master. Yaw means day. Deen means law. Master of the day of law. However, this Yawmiddin, day of law, is normally translated as day of judgment. It is implied translation meaning. Day of law means day of judgment. Actually, deen does not mean judgment. It means law. Deen is a very old Arabic word. The word is found in Hebrew and Aramaic as well. In Hebrew and Aramaic, deen means law. In Arabic also, deen means law. But in case of this verse, it is translated as judgment because the translators feel that the law is not appropriate here. So day of Deen is translated as day of judgment. Actually, Yawmiddin means day of law. I am doing scientific Tafsir. So I will not use implied meaning. I will explain it as day of law, master of the day of law. What is day of law? The day of law is better understood by Hawking's idea of determinism. I have a book. This is a Hawking's book, Stephen Hawking. He has written about determinism in this book. Is everything determined? I read a page from this book. In the play Julius Caesar, Caesar tells Brutus, men at some times are masters of their fate. But are we really masters of our fate? Or is everything we do determined and preordained? The argument for preordination used to be that God was omnipotent and outside time. So God would know what was going to happen. But how then could we have any free will? And if we do not have free will, how can we be responsible for our actions? It can hardly be one's fault if one has been preordained to rob a bank. So why should one be punished for sin? In recent times, the argument for determinism has been based on science. It seems that there are well-defined laws that govern how the universe and everything in it develop in time. Although we have not yet found the exact form of all these laws, we already know enough to determine what happens in all but the most extreme situations. Whether we will find the remaining laws in fairly near future is a matter of opinion. I am an optimist. I think there is a 50-50 chance that we will find them in next 20 years. But even if we don't or won't really make any difference, but even if, I read again, but even if we don't, it won't really make any difference to the argument. The important point is that there should exist a set of laws that completely determines the evolution of the universe from its initial state. These laws may have been ordained by God, but it seems that He does not intervene in the universe to break the laws. It means the set of laws that was ordained by God or that evolved at its own has determined our fate. The Hawking suggests in very early universe everything was very close together. So there was quite a lot of uncertainty, and there was a number of possible states for the universe. These different possible early states would have evolved into a whole family of different histories for the universe. There would be a history in which the Nazis won the Second World War, though the probability was low. But we just happen to live in a history in which the Allies won the war and Madonna was on the cover of the Cosmopolitan. So Hawking has given importance on uncertainty principle. The early universe had number of possible states with the potentiality of all trivial detail we see at present universe. The one that we see has been materialized, has evolved. So laws of the nature and the configuration of the initial universe has determined our fate, has determined everything. The Sir Bernard Lowell in Encyclopedia of Space Travel and Astronomy writes, the primordial fireball contained the reaction which led to the present distribution of hydrogen and helium, 75% and 25% respectively. Very small change in nature of the primordial fireball would have had an immense effect on the universe. If certain atomic forces had been only slightly greater, then all the hydrogen would have become an isotope of helium and no long-lasting star would exist as they do at present. They would have been explosives. Stars would have formed, but they would have used up all their energy in very short time. There would have been no star like the sun, which gives an output of energy for thousands of millions of years. It is only with the stability on this time scale the life can evolve. If things had been just a little bit different at the beginning, there would have been no life, and universe would be unknowable. So the initial universe has determined the evolution of this universe as we see it today. I give an example. There is a tree at the outside of my window, mango tree. This mango tree needs a particular kind of air, water and earth with particular nature. It needs a particular kind of earth. If the earth was little bit different, this mango tree would not evolve. This earth needs a particular kind of solar system. This solar system needs a particular kind of Milky Way galaxy, and the Milky Way galaxy needed a particular kind of Big Bang. So the perfect Big Bang made a perfect Milky Way galaxy. Perfect Milky Way galaxy made a perfect solar system. Perfect solar system made a perfect Earth, and the mango tree could grow. Everything is determined by the laws of nature, that is fixed. Now a man comes and eat a mango of that tree. Now that man has also evolved by the same natural laws. By the same natural laws, and he is determined to eat the mango, predetermined to eat the mango. Therefore, the initial configuration and the initial evolution of laws was very important. The day on which God ordained the laws or made the initial configuration of the universe can be called the day of law. And most likely this verse is talking about that day, the initial day of the universe. Master of the day of law, Malik Yawmiddin, In previous verse we have discussed, God has saying himself that he is sustainer and evolver of the universe. But at the first place, he fixed the initial configuration and laws of the universe. He fixed the initial configuration and laws of the universe properly. So he is sustaining and evolving the universe easily. So these two words are related. However, our concept should be little bit different. I have discussed that there is nothing called natural law. Where from this natural law come? There is nothing called natural law. I have discussed that human has got soul. Composite soul, human composite soul is called nafs. Nafs is created with many known and unknown force fields. Force field, known and unknown force field. Force field and simple soul, that is ruh, are same. So soul of God is also composed of many known and unknown force fields or ruh. Allah has assumed that Allah has 99 known and unknown force field in his nafs, and his nafs is spread throughout his body in form, and he is staying in the arash beyond the universe. Now Allah has extended several constituent force field of his nafs beyond his body in form, like wings or hand extended from the body. He is sustaining the universe by the right extension. This right extension or right hand is composed of several force fields, like gravity, like dark energy, like quantum force fields. And these force fields are infused into the space. He did istawa. Now these force fields are designed to act in fixed process. These force fields are designed to act in fixed process or fixed ways. These ways are known to us as natural laws. So Allah has designed his rules or force fields at his will, by his willpower. So the natural laws are held by the willpower of God. Therefore, natural law means the way the infused soul of God, so infused force field or rules of God works in the space. Now, it is not the only natural way. There are the universe is created with atoms mainly. The atom, the subatomic particles, the atomic force field, they also follow some ways. They are designed to act. They are held by the infused rules or force field of God, and they act as they are designed. So this designing is also done as such that they follow some laws. So these are also natural laws. Moreover, Allah configured the initial universe so that it evolves as desired. He determined our fate and ensured that this initial configuration and laws fulfills the fate, fulfills the plan, ultimate plan. However, though the laws are the way that the rules or force fields of God acts, he had to design it, he had to plan it. If the laws were not perfectly adjusted, the universe could not evolve as it is evolving. So on a particular day at the beginning, he designed or he fixed the he designed his invested rules or force fields. He designed the subatomic particles and the atomic forces. He designed the initial configuration of the universe. The day on which he did all this designing is the day of law. Now, this verse actually is not talking about past day of law. Subsequently, we find that this surah is saying, guide us through the straight path, the path on which your liked people have gone through, and because so that we can go to paradise. So this day of law mainly linked to the next day of law, ensuing day of law, coming day of law. There is another day of law coming. It is ahead of us. This verse is actually talking about ensuing day of law. What is that ensuing day of law? We know the universe is expanding. Universe is expanding. Assume that a dry pond. Now it is being filled up by water, and water is coming through a hole at the bottom. The water is coming through the hole and filling the pond. The water coming out from the hole will spread throughout the pond straightway, and gradually the pond will be filled up. Now assume that the water is again going back to the hole. Now it will not go straight. It will create whirlpool. The water will start rotating, and you will see it is rotating faster and faster and faster and going back inside the hole. Like you fill up the basin in the bathroom and open the cork. The water will start rotating gradually, and it will be faster and faster and go inside the pipe. So when it goes back to the point, it starts rotating. The universe will also be rolled up like that. The Quran says the day that we will roll up the skies, universe is expanding. Scientists say that it may expand forever, but the Quran says the day that we will roll up the skies, like the rolling up of the scroll for writing. So universe will start rolling. Allah will start rolling the universe and making it smaller and smaller and smaller. And finally it will be very small, and it will be in the hand of God, hand of Allah. It will be collapsed into the hand of Allah. But the verse says the day that we will roll up the sky like the rolling up of the scroll for writing. Finally the universe will be completely collapsed. It will be in the hand of Allah. Then what He will do? As we originated the first creation, we will reproduce it. First creation was originated through a Big Bang. So there will be another Big Bang. Big Bang 2, boom. We will reproduce it. A promise on us, surely we will bring it about. So the universe will be created again through a second Big Bang. Now, this second Big Bang also will have a day of law at the beginning. This verse, Maliki Yawmiddin, is talking about that day of law. Why? Because that day of law is also the day of judgment. Universe will collapse, humans will be resurrected with another land, and some people will be shifted to another universe beyond the Barzakh. That universe is called Jannat or paradise. Some people will be shifted. Others will remain in this universe. They will never die. This universe will be born again, and the sinners will be scattered in the galaxies. And they will live forever as forgotten vicegerents of God in disasters and punishment. So, The day the universe will be collapsed into the hand of Allah, that is the second day of law. And we have to know about that day clearly. What the Quran say about that day. The Quran says, all that on it will perish, but will abide the face of thy Lord, full of majesty and honor. What it means by the face of God? Face of God. Everything will perish, only the face of God will survive. To understand this we have to know what happens, what will happen when universe will collapse. Universe started from a Big Bang or singularity. Big Bang or singularity are the same thing. Singularity at the beginning of the universe is called Big Bang. Singularity at the end of the universe is called Big Crunch. So when the universe will be collapsed, it is called Big Crunch, and it is a singularity. What is singularity? Singularity is like a black hole. Black hole is a singularity also. What happens in a black hole? A black hole has a singularity in the center, where the gravitational force is extreme. Now, once someone goes away from the singularity, the gravitational force field, power of gravitational force field reduces, and at certain sphere it becomes, the escape velocity become equal to the speed of light. Escape velocity. This sphere is called event horizon. So event horizon actually divide the space. The inside there is one space, one kind of space, and at the outside of the event horizon there is another kind of space. And this gravitational gravitational force, this black hole is actually extreme gravitational force. We have already discussed the gravitational force field is a soul of God. Is a soul of God. It's a ruh. It's a simple soul of God extended from his nafs. Nafs, that is in the body, spreading in the body of nafs of Allah is spreading throughout his body, and he has extended several of his force field or rules beyond his body in form. One of this force field is gravitational force field. Now, when the universe will collapse, that will be a point of extreme gravitational force field. So gravitational force field is the soul or ruh of God. Likewise, a black hole is also a point of extreme gravitational force. Gravitational force is a soul of God or ruh of God. Now, inside it's a soul of God. It has got event horizon, and gravitational a black hole is, there is a strong black hole rotates in tremendous speed. There are rotating black holes, and those black holes have a strong magnetic field around itself, very strong magnetic field. This magnetic field revolving around the event horizon creates the accretion disks. The matter that falling into the black hole following the accretion disk at first and get destroyed. Now the antimatter that has opposite momentum, it can fall into the singularity, but the light photons, that cannot fall. It just rotate around the event horizon and gradually get closer and closer to the event horizon. more it get closer, the more it get closer, the more compact the space is, and the slower the time is. Now it goes closer and closer, and times become slower and slower, so the photons can never fall into the singularity. It gets frozen in the space around the event horizon, and the photon preserves information. Assume a spaceship is falling into a black hole. Assume that this is a spaceship. It is falling into a black hole. It will be more it come closer to the black hole, the more it will be elongated due to the difference of gravitational force on its tip and tail. It will be elongated like a spaghetti, like a thread, and finally it will fall into the accretion disk. Its atoms will break, and it will be spinning around the event horizon. Ultimately, the neutron or antimatter will fall into the singularity, and the photons will be revolving around the event horizon. Thus, the information of the ship will be preserved. Information of the ship will be preserved. The ship can never fall into the singularity, because more it closes to the event horizon, the slower the time is. So it can never fall into the singularity. So it will be frozen, and the information will survive. Photon will survive. Now this information is actually command. Quran calls command. What happens? And call not beside God another God. There is no God but He. Everything will perish except His own face. Here you can say the exposed gravitational force, exposed point of gravitational force, a black hole. You can call it the face of God. Except His own face. To Him belongs the command. Command means the information. And to Him ye be brought back. Now, we may not accept the implied meaning. Assume the whole universe is collapsed into a point. This is a strong, very strong gravitational force, point of extremely powerful gravitational force. And there is nothing to sustain. So the gravitational force may return to the body of God, body and form. He has got a body and form. So it may return, and the information or photon may return on the face of God, like bright spot on His forehead. Bright spot on His forehead. So this verse may mean that the command will return to God on His face, like bright spots. Singularity is a bright spot. On the face of God, it is a bright spot. Now, one thing is to be remembered here. Allah has a body in form. The universe will collapse in His right hand. Doesn't mean that it will be held by His hand in form. No, He will not hold the universe by the hand in form. This hand is hand of nafs. Hand of nafs. The extension, which is right extension, is right hand. Right extension of nafs is right hand. Left extension of nafs is left hand. Hand of nafs will hold is holding the universe, not the hand in form. Now, once the universe will collapse, the hand of nafs will have nothing to hold. So, hand of nafs may collapse into the nafs of Allah, and the light given to the creation as a provided light that was hovering over the water, or as nafsin wahidatin, that is holding the command or information of everything of the universe, will return on the face of God as a bright point. So everything will collapse on His face. Probably that is being told here. And call not beside God or another God. There is no God but He. Everything will perish except His own face. To Him belongs the command, and to Him will ye be brought back. It is verse 88 of Surah 28. Then the universe will be in a state of singularity on the face of God. Now Allah will have vision of the next universe. Vision at first. He will think about the next universe. And the next day of law will start. He will start configuring the universe. He will set new natural laws. Means he will set how his infused soul or rules will act. How the electron, protons and other atomic force field will act in the new universe. So he will design everything accordingly. And universe will be launched again. So universe will be launched again. Gradually the universe will achieve the mass. At this state, the universe is called thakal, heavy mass. Universe will again achieve mass. And when the land, the thakal, is enlarged and cast forth what is within it and becomes empty and hearkens to its Lord, and it must need. As soon as the universe will achieve mass, resurrection will occur. Resurrection will occur. Now the universe, then again it will be in the hand of Allah. This is the hand of nafs, not his hand in form. Universe will be in the hand of Allah, right hand of Allah. And it will be a heavy mass. It is called thakal in the Quran. Thakal or heavy mass. At that state, the resurrection will occur, as the verse says. And when the land is enlarged and cast forth what is within it and becomes empty and hearkens to its Lord, and it must need. Universe will be designed as such that it will cause resurrection at that state. It is verse 3 to 5 of chapter 84. Now this place, this reviving universe, is a very dangerous place. It is not suitable for judgment. So mankind and the matter of the solar system will be ejected, and it will form a land of judgment. It will form a land of the matter of the solar system, and resurrected mankind will be on the land of judgment. This land of judgment will be specially produced. It is said in this verse, and not they honored Allah, true honor, while the land of judgment is assembling in his hand, and on the day of resurrection. So the land of judgment is assembling in his hand on the day of resurrection. On the day of resurrection there will be resurrection. At the same time land also will form. And the skies, means universe, samawat, rolled up in his right hand. Universe is collapsed in his right hand, and land of judgment is forming in his hand. This hand is not his left hand. This is also an extension of right hand. Left hand of Allah is in the Jannat. That is a different universe altogether. So in the Hadith it is told all hands of God that are in the Samawat are right hands. However, this we consider it as a hand. This verse doesn't say it right or left. It is said it will be in the hand. And not they honored Allah, true honor, while the land is assembling in his hand. It doesn't mention left or right. And on the day of resurrection, and the skies means samawat, this universe, rolled up in his right hand. Glory to him, and high is he above what they associate. So this land of judgment will be in the super space. Universe is only just unrolling. So this land of judgment will be in the super space. not in the space of universe. Once the land is forming, this land will halt. It will move towards the junction point of Asirat or path leading to the Jannat. This land will move to the junction point of Asirat, path leading to the Jannat. It will go near a portal through which, so that humans can go to another universe, and the unrolling universe or reviving universe will be continue going away. On the day, it is said in this verse, on the day the land break away from them, break away, this land, the universe, the thakal, heavy mass, break away from them quickly, that will be a gathering together, quite easy for us. This is a gathering together, and the land will break away from them. But it will not go too far, because the universe will be halted. It is said in this verse, the previous verse number is verse 44 of chapter 50. It is in this verse, and among his signs is that the skies and lands, means this universe, stand still on his command, and then when he calls you by a single call from the land, behold, you come forth. Now this universe will be commanded to stand still. Universe will halt. Evolution of the universe will be halted for judgment, because Allah is coming for judgment. Now this coming, Allah will come, Allah in form will come with the kursi. He will come from the arsh, and he will come on the land of judgment. Allah with his kursi will come on the land of judgment, Allah in form. And at that time also, his hand of knobs, composed of several force fields or Ruh, will be holding the samawat or this universe. This hand of knobs we cannot see. These are force fields, so we will not be able to see these hands. These are hands of force field. We will not be able to see these hands. Allah is holding me also by his hand, because I am sitting here, I am glued with the earth. So he is holding me with his hand, but we cannot see his hand. Similarly, on that day, we will not see the hand of knobs, but we can see Allah in form, and Allah in form also have two hand in form. He has got leg, hand, face, everything. He is like a human, but from his shoulders, his knobs are extended, that is invisible, and these knobs says some force field of his knobs or some rules of his knobs will be extended, and these will be holding the samawat, that we will not see, and another hand will be holding Jannat. I say again, on the day of judgment, Allah will come with kursi. We will see his hand in form, we will see his leg, we will see his body, face, but his hand of knobs, the hands of knobs, that is composed of several rules or force field extended beyond his body, will be holding the samawat. This hand of knobs sustaining the samawat and sustaining the Jannat will not be visible to us. We will only see the Allah in form. So this is the land of judgment. This is the universe halted as thakal or heavy mass. The day the land will be changed, other land, and the skies, and they will come forth before Allah, the one, the irresistible. So Allah will come. Allah in form will come. Soon shall we have, now then there will be judgment. That was verse 48 of chapter 14. Soon shall we attend to you, O both ye heavy masses. This one is one heavy mass or thakal. This one is another heavy mass or thakal. Soon shall we attend to you, O both ye heavy masses, thakalani. Then which of the favors of your Lord ye deny? Verse 31-32 of chapter 55. So Allah will carry out judgment. After the judgment, the good people will be shifted to another universe called Jannat. This is a different universe beyond Barchak. So they will be shifted. There are two universes. One is Samawat, another is Jannat. Jannat is paradise. Be quick in the race for forgiveness from your Lord, and for a Jannat whose width is that of the skies and land. Prepare for the righteous. Verse 133 of chapter 3. Race to forgiveness from your Lord, and the Jannat, the width of which as the width of the skies and land. Verse 2 of chapter 57. So, width of Jannat is equal to the width of the Samawat universe. So, this one cannot remain inside another. These are two separate universes. The Holy Bible says, because only a few will be saved, God has created two universes instead of only one. For saving, another universe is created. God has created two universes according to the Bible. So after judgment, a part of mankind will be shifted to another universe, and the sinners will be left in the land of judgment. The land of judgment produced from this universe. So it will again be thrown back into this universe. And the humans, there will be second Big Bang. There will be second Big Bang. Or universe will start unrolling violently. And gradually the universe will be created again with the galaxies. But in those galaxies, in each of the big galaxies, there will be a human as forgotten vicegerent of God. The sinners will be scattered in the galaxies of this universe as forgotten vicegerents of God, and they will suffer from punishment. But they are vicegerent of God. They will have some control ultimately. What is said in the Quran? And Allah created the skies and lands, means this universe, for just ends, and in order that each soul may find the recompense of what it has earned, and none of them be wronged. Verse 22 of 54. So universe is created for justified end, and humans will be rewarded with the objects of the universe. So good sinner will get a good galaxy with less punishment, and bad sinner will get a bad galaxy with extreme punishment. We created the skies and lands, means universe, and all between them. We created not the skies and land and all between them merely in sports. We created them not except for just ends. But most of them do not understand. Verily, the day of sorting out is the time appointed for all of them. So, sinners will be scattered in the universe. From the second Big Bang, the sinners will be the universe. The collapsed universe will release many black holes. The galaxies will, the black holes will pull away enough matter to form the galaxies. These black holes will also pull away determined sinners with them. Ultimately, the black holes will produce the galaxy and sinners will be there. It is said in this verse. Then he whose balance will be heavy will be in a life of good pleasure and satisfaction, living in Jannat. And those whose balance will be light, their mother will be endless hole. Endless hole means black hole. And what will explain to thee what this is? A fire blazing fiercely. A black hole is endless hole, and it is a fire blazing fiercely. Black hole rotates in a tremendous speed when matter is collapsing around it. And there is a strong magnetic field. This magnetic field also rotates. When matter falls into the magnetic field or accretion disk, it gets around 25% matter turns into energy due to fission and friction. Therefore, these are produces fierce fire, fierce fire. So these holes are associated with fierce fire, but whose balance will be light. Their mother will be endless hole. Mother is endless hole, black hole. And what will explain to thee what this is? A fire blazing fiercely. So this galaxy initially will be very violent, but ultimately it will make the stars and planets, and the man will get a object to live. And he is vicegerent of God, so he will be honored over there. But he is a forgotten vicegerent. This is the master plan of Allah, to create, develop, and delegate his vicegerent all over his creation, the universe and Jannat. Therefore, the next day of law will start as soon as the universe is lost from the face of God, and it will end after the salvation. Once these good people are sent to the Jannat and bad people are sent into the Samawat, the day of law will end. Universe will be evolving with new laws and configuration, and it will evolve. Universe may be cyclic again. There may be a day of law after billions and billions of years. I show the picture in short. This is a picture. This one, the this is the universe. This is the universe at present. Now contraction begins. This is the model of cyclic universe. This is the universe. These are the galaxies. Now the contraction begins. Ultimately, the galaxies are seized into the black holes, and ultimately all the black holes joins, and it makes a big crunch. The big crunch, in the state of big crunch, singularity, universe can be considered as has returned to the face of God. Allah has created this universe with forces and light provided from his body. So once the universe is collapsed into a singularity, it can be considered has returned to the face of God. So this is the big crunch singularity, and we may consider this is the state when universe is returned to the face of God. Now from the face of God, the universe is again lost. This is the state when we can say the day of law, day of deen. This is the day of deen or day of law. And within this time, the good people are shifted, salvaged to the Jannat, and bad people are left here, and new galaxies start evolving. Thus the day of law ends. This is the unrolling universe, and universe is created again. Unrolling universe is created again. Now I have finished my discussion on day of law, Malik Yawmiddin. He is designer of the universe. He made the initial configuration, and he fixed the laws properly so that universe evolve as desired and fulfills the fate, fulfills human fate. So he is the master of the day of law. I will show you, there may be questions. I will show you my web page. I am author of Scientific Tafsir of the Quran. I am author of Scientific Tafsir of the Quran. If somebody has got any doubt, he can read my Tafsir, in my tafsir I have discussed deliberately. I could not talk properly, but in my tafsir the things are described deliberately, properly, sequentially, with all authorities. I have mentioned all related verses in my tafsir. So if there is any doubt, please go read my tafsir. It's free PDF. Just write scientific tafsir. This is scientific tafsir I have written. Now in the Google search it comes at first or second, the scientific tafsir of the Quran. Scientific tafsir of Zakaria Kamal. My name is Zakaria Kamal. The hidden structure of the Quran is surfaced in this tafsir to make it easy to understand on context. A special emphasis is given on scientific science. So this is my tafsir. You can find it by www.alqurantafsir, ALQURANTAFSIR, not double E, IR, alqurantafsir.com, all small. You can find it in this way also. This is my tafsir, scientific tafsir of the Quran. If you click here, the part one will be downloaded, will be shown. This is part 1, around 900 pages. Now this is to open part 2 of 3. You can click here. This is part 2 of 3, and this is part 3 of 3. Click here. This is part 3 of 3. Each of these parts are around 800 to 900 years, 900 pages. You can read, get it as free PDF from my web page. And there are some books also, free PDF, given as free PDF. You can read those books. That's all. Allah Hafiz.